Ascension Catholic School began in 1988 when Archbishop Ignatius Strecker purchased 35 acres of land. Father Larry Albertson was named pastor of the new parish, Church of the Ascension. On August 26, 1997, Ascension Catholic School opened their doors for the first day of school. They are the 14th Catholic elementary school in Johnson County. In 1997, Ascension Catholic School opened with 260 students enrolled in grades K through 5. In August of 1998, Ascension adds 6th grade to the school. In August of 1999, Ascension added the 7th grade. In August of 2000, Ascension added the 8th grade to make Ascension Catholic School kindergarten through 8th grade. In May of 2001, the first 8th grade class graduated. In 2003, Father Tom Tank was named pastor of Church of the Ascension. In August of 2018, Ascension Catholic School added a preschool. In 2021, Father Gary Pennings was named pastor of Church of the Ascension. Now, in 2022, Ascension Catholic School has an enrollment of 592 students in preschool through 8th grade.
My name is Caitlin Coltrion. I have been a parishioner of Ascension since before it was even built, back in the chair stacking days at Aquinas. I was a part of the first 4th grade when Ascension opened, and the second to graduate, and now I have a kindergartner, Liam, in Mrs. LaSala's class. That first year, the first actually few years, because every year they would add on in their class and the school would continue to grow. So when we started, there were only 22 or 23, 24 of us, and we still all know each other. And some of my dearest friends, we just had one of their weddings a few weekends ago. So it was very unique, and especially in this big area in Johnson County, to have such a small class, and we loved it. We really did. They didn't add on another grade until well after that we had left. So it was the same, just us 23, 24-ish all those years until we graduated, and that was pretty unique.
I first attended Ascension Catholic School when it opened in 1997. Graduated in 2001, first graduating class. I have 2 children at Ascension currently. My son Vinny Totta is in 2nd grade and Ellie in kindergarten. And we've got one more at home who's just a little one right now, and he'll be attending here in a few short years. So when the school first opened, I was in 5th grade. They were still getting everything figured out. So for the first few weeks, a number of classrooms, including our own, didn't have desks. So that was an interesting few weeks to start the school year. As 5th graders, we thought it was pretty fun getting to sit on the floor and do our learning from there. But there were a lot of different unique parts of the start of the school, just with being kind of a startup and being new and being a little bit smaller. So that worked pretty great because our class was a pretty tight-knit group. I think we only had 17 or 18 or something like that when we first started that first year. So we all knew each other really well, which was great for all of us because we formed a lot of awesome lifelong friendships. And it was a fun time. It was an interesting time. We got to kind of set the tone and kind of set the set the energy and what it was like to be at Ascension during that time.
I went to Ascension for 1 year when we moved here from Orlando, Florida, and now have 2 kids that attend as well. Liam, who is in 1st grade with Mrs. Hand, and then Lucille, who is in pre-K 3 with Mrs. Rumpel. There was a total of 24 kids total in our 8th grade class. There was 12 girls, 12 guys, and I am still really good friends with one of them was my twin sister, and then there's 3 other girls that were really close and get together once a month. Of the 24 of us, I'm still really, really close friends with 6 or 7 of them.
I have been here since the beginning of the parish and the school. My kids were one of the first grade classes and first kindergarten classes. And then in 2008, I became an employee, a staff member of the school. I can remember the opening day, just because it was brand new. Now, there weren't any desks in some of the classrooms. I know first grade David didn't have desk. Some of the books weren't in yet. But I remember being on committees and helping pick out tile and color paint. And there was an energy in the building because everyone was so excited.
The school was 6 years old when I came here, but it was already very, very well established. And there were so many wonderful programs and opportunities for young people within the school at that time. And I particularly need to mention the principals who were here when I was here, Sue Bernica, and then Peggy Sachs, and Becky Wright. And what a wonderful job those ladies have done in leading this school community. But it's also been along with a wonderful faculty, tremendous dedication on the part of so many wonderful teachers and staff, and those who assist in so many different ways as paras, and even as the volunteers who really make this a strong school.
So I believe it was our 7th grade year when the gym building and the extra part of the school was built, and then 8th grade that the playground was built. And so they called on, some of us kids to be a part of building the playground. So that was something that was a lot of fun and a good experience for us that we really got our hands on in improving and building our school out. So the summer we got to kind of assemble the playground. So that's always been a special part for me that, now my kids enjoy it so much. And we got to have such an integral part in building the school physically.
We've really been blessed here at Ascension with such wonderful facilities, and the parishioners started very, very early in making those facilities available and possible. There were 2 building projects before I even came to the parish, and then after my arrival, we built the stage and the art room and all the youth room, and did some remodeling and upgrading of various things.
The middle school building, that wasn't there until a few years later, and just when we got the lockers, we thought that was the coolest thing ever,
Sadly, I remember really clearly 9/11 happened when we were here, and I remember one of the saving graces of being at a Catholic school is we were all able to stop and pray as soon as it happened. So as soon as we learned what had happened and the teachers kind of informed us what was going on, we all stopped and just started praying and saying Hail Marys, and I believe we said the Rosary that day too, which I remember. Oh, this is a big deal. We knew the extent of it, but we didn't know how big of a deal it was because we didn't have TVs or anything that we were watching. But the teachers were all staying really calm.
My husband Jeff and I have sent our 3 kids to Ascension Catholic School. Our oldest, Caroline, started in the fall of 2001, and we have had 2 other kids, Ryan and Sophie, graduate from Ascension Catholic School, with Sophie graduating most recently in 2019. So our family tenure at Ascension Catholic School is 2001 to 2019. As a family, one of our favorite parts is the All Saints Mass and the Saints projects that the 8th graders do. And it certainly seems like the saint seems to adopt or to call that 8th grade student. And to see how that project comes together in such a beautiful way, and to see the students, their appreciation for that saint is something that is so memorable for us and something that we're truly grateful for.
One of the things for me when I was pastor here was the weekly school mass. We just joined together in prayer, and that was really a special time for me.
Each season there's always traditions and fun things that the school has, and since I'm familiar with kindergarten, there's a turkey that they make every Thanksgiving, which is silly, and they can make it to anything. They can disguise the turkey. The best part about it is that, one, knowing that parents can sit down with their kindergartner and help them do it. And so there's that. And then the best part is when you see older kids come by and look at those turkeys and say, oh, I remember when I did this, I made it into a Chiefs player, I made it into a KU player, I made it a ballerina or a queen. Those are warm, fuzzy feelings you get. And then kindergarten's so unique because they love you no matter what. They're just like little sponges, and they're happy people. And that's the best part about kindergarten.
I just always enjoyed visiting in the classrooms. That's a real joy for me when I was pastor here, of just being able to visit in the classrooms, to have the opportunity to answer questions or talk about things. Because hopefully part of the formation here was to see the priest as human beings and to be able to relate to us, not just at the Mass, but the fact that we really love the students and are so committed to you coming to know and to love God. I'd say that I've been very touched over the years receiving notes from students on maybe my birthday or some other time, my anniversary of ordination, that were so very touching because they really expressed about the fact of what they were growing and learning within the school, and they were thanking me for somehow showing Jesus to them and helping them to come to know and to love God better. That certainly is something I took from this school, and it was a rich blessing for me and hopefully for the young people.
My name is Alex Rickert. I'm a seminarian for the Archdiocese of Kansas City in Kansas, and I attended Ascension Catholic School for my 6th through 8th grade years. I'm really grateful for the close contact that Ascension Catholic School gave me with the priests of our parish, Father Nathan Haverland, Father Alessandro, Father Tom, and they just became great spiritual fathers for me. Because of that more frequent contact with the priests here, my desire for the priesthood blossomed as I was going through Ascension Catholic School. Even in high school, when I was no longer in the school, I still had those memories and I still had those relationships with those priests that I would go back to in prayer, and then also on the weekends when I would see them at the parish or in the confessional. And that bond was still there, and their image, they were an icon of spiritual fatherhood for me in a way that really touched me and was really influential in my discerning into seminary and my continued pursuit of the vocation of priesthood since then.
So Ascension was a great foundation going into high school. It was what laid in a community aspect, and then going into Aquinas, it kept a good sense of community. And now being a parent, there is the same community feel, but with parents and other kids. So we have a great group of friends that we get together with and have that same community feel that we did back being a student, as well as now having kids here. And I know my kids feel the same way and say great things about the friends that they have here and the friends that they've made.
I think one of the things that really speaks very highly of Ascension is the input that I've received from teachers at a couple of our Catholic high schools. And they've remarked to me very, very strongly that they feel that our young people come very well prepared for high school, and that the program here at Ascension Catholic School is one that gives them a good foundation in their faith, as well as in the other subjects and the academic endeavors that they'll undertake in high school. So that, to me, is one of the litmus tests of a really quality school.
As a parent, I felt comfortable leaving my children here because I knew that they were going to be loved and taken care of and expected to act in a responsible way. They taught them how to be spiritually responsible, socially responsible, and just a good person.
As a parent and in this crazy world, to know that Liam goes to a school that is really fostering and supporting his academics, but also his faith, when you have that foundation, you can only just grow. And I appreciate that more. And I find myself thanking my parents as well for giving that to me all those years ago.
Yeah, I've been asked before, kind of what's the difference between sending your kids to Ascension or to, one of the local Blue Valley schools. I've been asked before. You live in an area with some of the finest public schools in in the country and you choose to send them to a private school. And I tell them that there's something special. You can't quite put your finger on it, but there's something that ties us all together. And I think that it has a lot to do with our faith. It has a lot to do with the family atmosphere that you can feel when you're here. And the fact that you see every member of the school and every family either at church or at community events or sports events. And it's more than just a building of education. It's more of a family atmosphere.
I went to public school for a little bit when I was growing up, and I know comparing that experience with being here at Ascension, I just felt so much freer in my Catholic faith to be able to talk about God and to talk about the ways that He's working in my life, or just what it means to be a Catholic in general. I felt so constricted in public school, so I was really grateful for that ability just to be able to share that common identity with other people.
You know, Ascension is one of only 3 schools in our metropolitan area who go on the stewardship model. And I was always very, very proud and happy of that we were able to fund the school through the generosity, certainly of parents, but also of the whole parish community.
One of the ministries that I was involved with was an extension of the stewardship efforts here at the parish. That was a group that I'm sure you're all familiar with, the School Funding Task Force. And what our mission was about was to really just continue those stewardship messages that we hear at the parish level, but to carry that through how we support our school. And that is such a tremendous thing because it shows the commitment of the parents here at the school and the commitment of the parish as a whole. And so we're really blessed to have been able to support our school through stewardship.
My years and time at Ascension as a student occupy a pretty special place in my life and in my heart. I really value the lifelong friendships that I made over the years and still have. And I look forward to seeing my kids' lifelong friendships form over the next 25 years.
Congratulations to Ascension Catholic School on its 25th anniversary. And thank God for the many blessings that we've enjoyed over the past 25 years that enabled the school to carry out its mission of forming young people in the faith. Ascension Catholic School is our largest ministry here at the Church of the Ascension. It's the church's greatest gift to parents that we have to offer parents. We believe that parents are the first and hopefully the best teachers of the faith. And a Catholic school is the best thing we have to help them in that ever so important task. So thanks first to all the parents who over these past 25 years have chosen to partner with Ascension Catholic School to help form their children in the faith. Thanks to all the parishioners at Ascension that through their tithing, through their generosity, we've allowed us to maintain this wonderful ministry of Ascension Catholic School. Thanks to all the teachers and the staff who've given of their time and their talent over the years to help form the hearts and the minds of young people in the way of the gospel. And thanks to God for the graces that we have enjoyed over these many years. My prayer is that the ministry of Ascension Catholic School will continue for many, many, many years to come, and that future children will have the blessing of a Catholic education, helping them to come and to know Jesus, to love Jesus, and to serve Him, and to live actively as members of His church. What a great gift, 25 years of Ascension Catholic School. Praise God and thank God for all these years of blessings.